What is up everyone, it's Emily and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to kind of open the floor again to another discussion. I posted another video and I opened up the floor to talking about overconsumption with Book Talk and BookTube, and today I want to talk about separating art from the artist and whether or not that's even possible. Disclaimer, I am just going to talk about my own opinions. You can have a different opinion from me and you are more than welcome to have that opinion in any way, but I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on this, and I want to hear what everyone else thinks down below. One thing I learned about when I was in school for musical theater is that art is inherently political. When you see a piece of art in any media, in any form, it is a commentary on someone's life, their thoughts, their feelings, how they experience the world. So when you are looking at even just a painting, that is a snapshot of something. That is someone saying something. Art has always been used to express feelings, to say their opinions on the way the government is treating its people, anything like that. Like if you look at Shakespeare, he sets his plays in countries outside of England so that he can comment on the political system and the government in England at that time without commenting on it. But we all know that he's making fun of their own king when he's making fun of, the king of Denmark or whatever. And so the question kind of comes to mind, like, everyone wants to talk about separating the art from the artist. And my question is, can we really do that? Because art is always in connection with the person creating it. The biggest one that comes to mind for me right now is J.K. Rowling and her whole deal. People always want to say, well, you can support Harry Potter without agreeing with J.K. Rowling. And my first question is, like, can you? Can you really do that? Because all of J.K. Rowling's personal beliefs are found in the text of Harry Potter. And when you're a kid and you're reading that media, like, you're not thinking about those things, right? Like, you're not seeing necessarily the anti-Semitism in the goblins or, seeing her commentary on these things, right? Then when you grow up and you kind of relook at it again, you're like, huh. And then she kind of comes out as a TERF and all of these other things, and things start to make a bit more sense, right? Her personal beliefs are at the core of her work, whether you like it or not. And so you can't really separate those things because they are intrinsically the same in a lot of ways. And yeah, childhood nostalgia is one thing, and you can appreciate what something did for you at a certain time in your life without actively supporting it later. Which is why, like, I no longer buy Harry Potter merchandise. I don't really watch the movies anymore. I don't engage with that community, like, at all anymore. But then we can take this and apply it to other authors as well. We'll talk a lot about Sarah J. Maas and her representation of people in her books. You can write a book without diversity and, fine. There's an audience for that, I guess. Does that make you a great person or a great author? Not necessarily, or maybe at all. However, when you apply harmful stereotypes to people and you're viewing them in a positive light, that's kind of where the issues start to take place, because then you're glorifying it. People also have been bringing this up with Colleen Hoover and how a lot of the relationships in her books are abusive. A lot of people have come out in support saying, this is pulling on her own life or her mother's story and everything. However, those books don't ever really show the abuser in a negative way. And so then we kind of tiptoe into the area of glorifying or normalizing abusive or bad behaviors. And then we have to think about, who's consuming this media, and are these people that can critically think about the books that they're reading and think about them in a complex enough way to realize, oh, even though this person thinks that it's okay, I, as the consumer reader, know that it's wrong. But when the author is putting it in such a light that it is okay and isn't actively going against it, are they glorifying abuse? Are they glorifying sexual assault? Are they, there's a lot of gray area here. So if anyone has any thoughts on that, like, let me know what your thoughts are. And I'm not saying that Colleen Hoover or Sarah J. Maas or any of these people, except for maybe J.K. Rowling, are doing it maliciously. Like, I don't necessarily think that these people are Like, I'm gonna put this bad thing in my book so that I can glorify this horrible thing. Like, I don't think that that's what they're doing. I really don't. I think that it's unconscious or subconsciously being put in their text. However, those things are part of that person. And so can you separate those things from the artist? And this goes beyond books too. People like Chris Brown, for example, who make music and are known physical sexual abusers, are still given their platform, and people still stream and listen to their music and support their work, even though those things are also parts about them. And people just kind of want you to forget about that and say, well, you have to separate the music from the creator. And it's like, but you can't, because you're supporting that, you're perpetuating that, you're giving them more of a platform, you're putting them on a pedestal and allowing them to continue what they're doing. And it can be very, very harmful. And I don't know, it's just something I think about a lot, and I'm curious to know other people's thoughts on this. I don't have a lot of great examples off the top of my head, but if anyone has any thoughts on this, if you want to comment them down below, I'm more than happy to read what everyone has to say. And yeah, this was kind of just not a rant, this was just something that I've been thinking about, and I'm curious if other people feel the same way, or if they think differently and why they think differently. I just wanted to open up that conversation and hear everyone's thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.